What is going on, guys, and welcome to Nerd Parade's Battle of the Builds. Battle of the Builds is a competition between players, either solo or in a tribe, to present their creations to you guys here on the Tubes of You, to be voted on. The winner or winners of this competition will be crowned the best builders in ARK and receive a cash grand prize. Yes, you heard me correctly. Cash is up for grabs if you're the winner of a Battle of the Builds competition. And those winners are decided by you. You guys pick who wins by simply commenting your favorite build right here on the video in the comments below. And we'll tally those up and announce the winner in the Nerd Parade Discord. If you would like to participate in a Nerd Parade Battle of the Builds, just do a couple of things here for me. First, I want you to hit that like button. Let me know that you're excited for some Battle of the Builds action. Share this video with all your friends so that they can learn about Battle of the Builds and participate potentially as well. Third, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet, and join the Nerd Parade Discord, which I mentioned earlier. We announce all the winners of Battle of the Builds in the Nerd Parade Discord, and it's a great community to hang out with. I'll be your host, guys. I am Nick. This is Nerd Parade, and let this battle begin. Our first contestant for Battle of the Builds is this glorious tower right here in front of us. We are currently on the Nerd of the Rings server, which is a Lord of the Rings inspired ARK server. And you're going to see in this first episode of Battle of the Builds a lot of Lord of the Rings inspired bases. So we're going to see some really cool castles because we have $250 as well as the Best Builder in ARK title up for grabs in this episode of Nerd Parade's Battle of the Builds. Now, I am in spectator mode so that I can move around quickly, easily, and oh so agilely. It's a word, I made it up. And this is the tribe of Mordor. So the tribe of Mordor has built a very Eye of Sauron inspired tower, and I've been told to appreciate it in its full glory. We're going to have to get a shot of it at night. Before we go bursting into the front doors and checking out the interior of this castle slash tower, we're going to spin around quickly of the exterior and take a look at it. Going all the way up. Most of this was constructed, if not all of it was constructed with the CKF Castles and Keeps mod. And I think this is interesting, and I really want to call attention to it. The Eye of Sauron itself was attempted to be recreated using phoenixes. I think this is a really neat touch, and I believe this is what they wanted me to look at night. This is some creative stuff. I like the creativity of the builders here. I gotta tip my hat to them. This is really thinking outside of the box, and I love that. Let's take a closer look at the interior of this mighty tower. We've got some dino storage over here to the right, the generalized crafting area over here on the left, and a big central point, which I believe is the access to the upward parts of the tower right here in the center. So we're gonna take the shortcut through the floor, boop, and go right into the butthole of a Drake slash Reaper, which is awfully terrifying. And by Drake, I clearly mean Wyvern, but I guess I'm just in the mood for Nerd of the Rings things. We're going to continue to progress upwards. We have a windmill inside the base to keep the air milled, because that's what windmills do. This is a huge tower, and we're going to go all the way up to see those phoenixes once again. Okay, it looks pretty cool at night. I like what they did with the phoenix. The Eye of Sauron, I could see how they got there, and the falling stars in the backdrop make it look really cool. Our next contestant for Battle of the Builds, and another one that I was told needed to be appreciated in the dark, is submitted by the Guardians of Erebor. The Guardians of Erebor not only built a keep in the back, which you can see, but an entire village to accompany it. Now, my Lord of the Rings slash Hobbit lore and knowledge is not 100% on point. But what I think might have been the inspiration for this build slash village is the village from The Hobbit, the one that Smaug attacked, and I get that vibe because of the ballista on here, not only on the walls, but in the houses and things of that nature. That's the vibe that I'm getting. Now again, my lore may be a little off, that might not have been the inspiration, but that was just the first thing that jumped to my mind. We're starting out here so that we can appreciate the Great Wall that accompanies this village. It's got some catapults on it to keep out invading orcs or whatever may come charging this way. And we're going to get a little bit closer to the village so that we can really appreciate it. We're going to storm the front gates and walk right through. checking out the little village that we have in front of us. We're going to peer in some of the houses to check out the interior decoration as we go and see what we have in front of us. We're going to swing around this alley. Let's pop it up a little bit higher. We've got some militiamen on the walls. Those are likely NPCs. And we've got some structures over here, as well as some trees, which appear to be purposefully left and not chopped down to act as part of like a small little garden, or is atrium the right word? A small little garden or atrium in the middle of town. And I like how that was incorporated. That was a pretty neat little touch. So the natural terrain is playing a role in this village's appeal. We're going to poke our heads more into a couple of these little houses to check out their nice little details. This might be a smithy's area where the local blacksmith is at. This looks like an area that might be maybe the local bar or inn or tavern, something along those lines. There doesn't appear to be any decorations in here. Again, the use of CKF mod, Castles and Keeps. A lot of these structures are castles and keeps, and it looks very, very Lord of the Rings inspired, and I dig it. I dig it a lot. Got the water wheel here, right in the water, so they can maybe mill their grain or whatever it is. Perhaps that's the local granary. I like this balcony. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure what any of these structures are really supposed to be. I don't know if this is supposed to be like an inn or a bar or anything. I'm just showing you everything so you can choose which one your favorite is and which one is the winner of Battle of the Builds. Let's go over here to the right side of the town. We'll appreciate the right side, and then we'll move into the keep underneath the waterfall. And we'll be sure to check the interior. Some of these have interior decorations. That had a big rock. Some of them don't have interior decorations. Perhaps they didn't have enough time to get all the decorations in. Perhaps there is a time limit. It's like Top Chef. You only get a couple hours, and you gotta make your stuff. No, I'm kidding. There was a week allowed for this first Battle of the Builds. Depending on how it goes, there may be an extension to the time allowed, or I can't really foresee a reduction. I feel like a week might be pretty fair. All right, we're in position to run across the long bridge to the keep that's guarded by this theory right here. What's up, Chickle Tickin'? We're gonna move right along, and let's speed it up. And check out this guy. I can see why this was also told to me, not only for the town, but for the central keep here, that it would probably be more appreciated at night. It looks really, really cool at night, lit up by the torches. So I'm glad that I got to appreciate this at night. It might be a touch loud due to the waterfall. I hope it doesn't reduce property values. Let's bust right through the main gates. Standard busting sound effect, and then the smaller door. Oh, there's a smithy in here. No, it's a masonry table. That's kind of a neat touch. So they're chopping away at this rock that's part of the castle and maybe building a statue or something. I like the incorporation of the natural terrain. I like the incorporation of the natural terrain into the build. I feel like that's a very nice PvE-related touch, and it's always something I enjoy seeing. There's a natural Reaper tail in this hallway. The Reaper is built as part of the keep. That is pretty terrifying, actually. As far as guard dogs go, that's pretty terrifying. Our next contestants have built in the Helm's Deep section of Valguero, utilizing the natural ruins of the castle to create a castle of their own on top of it. And these guys are the Firebeards tribe. So we're going to check out the Firebeards and see what they have done with their castle in Helm's Deep. And so far it looks like they've got some sentries and stuff on the wall to keep invaders out. They've got some dinos strategically placed. They have a giant pigeon on their roof that's going to decorate the shingles with its pigeony poops. And we're going to explore the exterior before we start getting into the interior. To me, at first glance, this looks like just a really cool castle. I'm not seeing any subtle resemblances or anything to anything Lord of the Rings or Hobbit-esque. But again, my Lord of the Rings and Hobbit lore is not necessarily super on point, so I might be missing some. If you happen to recognize an inspiration for this castle, by all means, please be sure to comment it below. But at first glance, I'm not seeing anything. It just looks like a really cool castle to me. We're going to start our tour of the interior right through the front gates. We're going to, let's peek over here to the side. Oh, we've got some walkways to the side. Okay, let's go right into the front gates here. We're going to slow my roll a little bit. Not that much. That's too much slow. And we've got the King and Queen's chambers. So far, this has been, out of all the entries, the most decorated interior-wise. We've got our king, we've got our queen, and they are looking at the holiest of scriptures on this pedestal with the conquered dragon's head in the back, the dire wolf banners, and we're going to hook it over here to the left and check out this area. You've got a medieval doggy kennel of some sorts over here. What's in this room? Oh, that's leading to the outside where the unicorns are at. This appears to be a guard's barracks. Moving right along, there's some very colorful banners on the castle walls that happen to be Nerd Parade colors. I fully approve of these banners. Let's go into this room, just make a big square. Oh, this is the prison. This is the jail cells where all of the evildoers and criminals of the kingdom are stored. I like this. This is very, very cool. There's is there a toilet in each of the cells? There appears to be a toilet and a bin in each of the cells. These prisoners are pretty well taken care of. Let's swoop it around over here to the left and continue going. We've found the kitchen with the pantry and the fireplace and the herbs, or herbs, depending on how you prefer to pronounce it, hanging over everywhere. We've got some cookies or honey on the counter. There's a sink. The decorations and the interior design are really on point with this castle. Out of the builds that we've checked out thus far, this castle is smaller. However, this is the most decorated one that we've looked at. So what it might lack in size compared to the other builds, there's a roast Fiomia here. They've got a roast Fiomia on the table to serve as a mighty banquet for the king and his queen. I dig. And some donuts and pastries, and this is... Nobody's going hungry in this kingdom. They've got some good chefs here. They've got a little lounge area where the king and queen can sip their drinks, and we've made kind of a circle. Let's check out what's in here. Oh, the smithy's quarters, the royal smithy's quarters, and this is the other side of the throne room. So we've kind of made a bit of a circle. Now let's check out the upstairs part, shall we? Let's go to the next floor. Let's pop right through. The smithy continues. There's a... That's an RG's head on the wall. We've got a phoenix head on the wall. This must be the smithy's private quarters. And his bathtub. Oh, he's got a fancy toilet. None of that crappy toilet for the prisoners. They get fancy toilets up in here. We've got some archers stationed out on this side. We've got archers stationed above to protect his royal majesty and the queen. Some more towers to, again, protect. Very highly detailed. There is a lot of thought and detail that went into this. This might be, there's a unicorn head here. This has clearly got to be the queen and king's bedchambers. There's a bathtub. There's a rubber goatee. It's not a rubber ducky. It's clearly a rubber goatee that they take into the bathtub with them. And some really, really cool plant life on the side. I'm getting some of that Valguero light flicker again. Let's go up. Oh, we have a snowy owl carrier pigeon on the roof here that delivers messages to foreign kingdoms. And these guards apparently all partied way too hard last night and only remembered their helmets when it came time for guard duty. That's the guard troop that I want to be a part of right there. So this is the study room. Likely the queen's study room. Oh, and there's a rope ladder here. And perhaps... I'm just making up backstory at this point. I don't know. Another bedroom that looks really, really cool. I was going to try to make up some backstory for it, but I'm grasping at straws. I really, really am not sure whose individual quarters is who. Maybe it's some of the players, in fact, that fill the roles for the kingdom. Perhaps there's a smithy player that acts as the court smithy. Maybe a court hunter or something. A court, that last bedroom looked a little witchcrafty. Maybe it's the court alchemist or something along those lines. This is the other side of the kitchen. And back here we have a farm, as well as what I believe is the dino storage. I've been back here. check this out on live stream, but this wasn't as built up when we checked it out. Here we have the tribe of Smash and Grab. This, at first impression, gives me the vibes of like a local lord or duke or baron's type of compound. We've got their manor in the center, what appears to be some kind of barn off to the side, maybe like a shop or a tavern, something that's owned or operated by maybe a villager here close to the castle or the home of the local lord. And we have this cool structure, which appears to be a museum or atrium or tribute to the dragons of the Isle, with the burning large campfire in the center, which is just a quite neat, aesthetically pleasing structure that they have put together. We're going to go into one of the entrances of this, what I would assume is the Lord's Manor, and everything is painted and colored, which is the first base that I've seen that's been painted in its entirety, where the stones, that's a window. I'm going to go through the window just because. I went to the back of the king's throne. We have a very, maybe tyrant leader's throne here with the skulls of his slain foes or some sort. I don't know. I'm using a lot of adjectives right now, and it's pretty cool. We've got the queen running. The queen spotted me. The ghost of Nick has been spotted. The queen spotted me. We've got decorations all around here. This is the second entry that we've seen that's had a lot of decorations to it, so I like seeing the decorations. While the size of the entire base may be smaller than some of the ones we saw, the decorations really make them stand out, in my opinion. The fireplace, we have 2 roast fiomias for the banquet and dance floor, perhaps. Maybe this is like they hold balls here. Not like, balls, but balls like the one that Cinderella would go to. We have perhaps a food order. It's like a bar. You come here, order your food, you pick it up. This seems like a castle built to entertain one's guests. We have robotic creatures of some sort. Strange robotic alien creatures on here. This is where dinos are raised, on the second floor of the castle. We have the Typhoon and Sinister Savage. Oh, these are their personal rooms. Oh, we've got their personal rooms here. Each person has their own personal room, and is it a balcony? Oh, there's a balcony that connects all of them. There's little griffin statues all around. I like the use of the taxidermy here. On point. All right, let's check out what I thought was the barn, but may have been wrong. Oh, there's another structure over here I totally missed. Go in to the back, and we have, oh, this is the forge of sorts. Interesting. This is clearly a dwarven smithy. I was right, this appears to be the barn, where mini dinos are stored. And we have little houses here, which are built very well. These don't appear to be decorated. Perhaps if there was some more time for the contest, they would have decorated these or made them into player housing of some sort for their tribe. Another barn-like structure. This has to be the tavern. It's the tavern! We have a tavern with fish. They're fishermen. It's a fisherman's tavern. I like what they did. Oh, there's the giant moose head on the wall with a raptor and the direwolf. Yes! Looking good. And the kitchen behind. Oh, they're making beer. So if you need to get your drunk on, this is the place to come. Oh, and a farm is in the back. And they've got bees here, so they're producing mead with the honey. Okay, if you got to get your drunk on, or if you're a Viking, this is the place to come to. It's called the Dancing Equus. Nice touch. We now have the tribe of Aranor, which is built up here in the frozen north, and it's the perfect spot because this village gives me Viking vibes already. Just the way that it's built with the green roofing, for some reason, just screams Viking village to me. And they have Managmars here. We have some Velos. Everything is looking pretty cool. Oh, they have the centralized... I like it, like they're burning the witches at the stake or something. This is feeling Viking. This feels Viking to me, and I dig it. I dig it a lot. These guys are a very warlike people. If someone offends them, they clearly carry out capital punishment in their courtyard. And if they feel the need, they feed the remains to their creatures, which they have many of. These guys have a lot of creatures. We're going to check out their keep here in just a second. We're going to appreciate their throne. Their king is taking a nap right now. We're just going to let him sleep peacefully as these Vikings do their thing. Vikings don't need beds. They sleep wherever they feel tired. They have their archery range here off to the side. Definitely some Vikings. Definitely Vikings. I'm going to slow my roll here just a little bit so that we can appreciate the outside. They've got the area where they breed their dinos with the little dodo's nest with the S+. I like how a lot of these guys have incorporated the S+ structures in with their like castles and keep structures. Most, if not all, of the entries have been built primarily with castles and keep stuff. So it's looking super medieval. And I always love medieval vibes to... Oh, there's coffins here. Either these guys are Viking vampires or they're very respectful to their dead. I'm going with Viking vampire. But I do love the medieval vibes, and that's one of the reasons why the Nerd of the Rings server has been one of my favorite to check these types of bases out on. We have the giant glowtail here. We have a shattered remains of a castle that their kingdom was built inside of. So they're clearly some kind of vampire Viking. They don't care about the rubble. They just step over it and they deal with it. Like, Vikings don't clean stuff. They conquer and murder and slaughter and train and eat and drink, and they are merry. Vikings know how to roll. Let's see what we've got on the higher stories. They got a ship and a bottle over here. These guys are clearly seafaring folk, and they do appreciate a nice drum or two. A drum solo, maybe, because there's a lot of seats here. They found some strange technology from perhaps the future that they displayed because they don't know what else to do with it. And they hail to the Church of the Implant. All hail the Church of the Implant, the diamond-shaped thing in our arm. Now it's time for us to sail this castle to the next entry. Next up, we have the Mountain Kings, a castle built on top of a mountain by Thorin and company. Now, I've been told that these guys don't have a lot of interior decoration, so what we're going to do is focus largely on the exterior of their castle and the huge skyscraping spire that they've built, reaching up to maybe Skybox. We'll have to check it out. They have the area very well protected with some bear traps there. Nothing's going to get past these kings of the mountain, and we're going to continue to go around the sides. We've got two bridges or two portcullis that lead to nowhere. They're baits. Maybe they're kings of the mountain and pirates. They're going to make these people walk the planks onto the jagged rocks below. I don't know. I can only speculate. This might be the main entrance to the kingdom. So let's bust through the door here. See what we can find. Oh, this is nice. I like this little coop area. This is nicely, like, decorated. You could put some dodos, aka chickens, in there. It looks like a lot of base general stuff was done in this small area. And then the castle was built... Oh, is that a secret? Oh, they got a secret passageway. The door is open. And we're going to work our way to the Mountain King. I'm going to pretend that that secret passageway was the only way that this castle in the mountains could be accessed. There's probably another secret passageway right here. There definitely is. That's a CKF thing. They actually have secret passage walls. We've shown them off in previous videos. We're going to check out this area now, past these catapults. A mighty staircase. Oh, there's a lot of masonry tables here. And we're going to continue to go down. We've got some beehives. Lots of dinos. We have a huge structure built. This is a huge castle with a huge tower. Am I in the tower? I was in the tower in the center for a second. Okay, hang on. We've got some catapult. We've got rocks for the catapults, oil jars. Let's bust in here. And is this a... So they've got, like, the jail cell bars blocking off their main tower. And we're going to go up this main tower and see what's at the top of it. We're going to just kind of spacebar our way through. Yikes, that's going to give me a headache if I keep looking at that. Sorry if I'm causing you to have a seizure right now. A huge spire all the way to the top and two ginormous lightning rods in case Zeus and his mighty thunderbolts decide they want to strike the earth. Oh, now it gets fiery. All the way to Skybox, maybe. Our last entry for the Battle of the Builds contest is done by the tribe of the Heirs to Middle-earth. I have to be a little bit further back in Spectator, but we'll get closer to show you the tribe name in just a second. But I had to incorporate the village that they built beneath the rocks as well as the castle. Let's get a little bit closer here. Heir to Middle-earth. And we're going to start at the gates where the Gigas are guarding. We have Gigas, we have Drakes and Wyverns off to the left-hand side. We have a Reaper in the middle. And I believe this looks like a chapel of sorts. Let's bust in the back wall. Boom! Oh my god, I was absolutely right. It's a chapel. It is a chapel to the Church of the Triangle. All hail mighty Triangle. We had the Church of the Implant in the other base, and we have the Church of the Triangle. Oh my god, he's even got the tomes. The primitive Bibles, maybe, under the pews. That's a nice little touch. Okay, we're going to meander our way out of the chapel, and this one looked pretty nice at night. So I wanted to get kind of a Starry Nights view of it. We are going to check out this little tower in which you have to climb in order to get to the main keep structure. That's kind of interesting. And then we have this I like the lookout tower, and we have the glorious bridge leading all the way to the keep with the double drawbridge to keep invaders out. Oh, he's got some gorilla statues here from his conquered foes in battle. He really likes the bones of T-Rexes and his enemies. Carnivores are the name of the game. We've got heads of his fallen enemies. Ooh, nice little bedroom. You know, maybe there's plenty of bedrooms for other people, so maybe this isn't the Lone King. Maybe the Lone King had many children. Lore invention is on point. The War Room, where there's maps of his territory that he wishes to conquer. The different lands, or the different arcs. It is Nerd of the Rings, not just Lord of the Rings, so we're bleeding a couple of universes here together. Oh, the banquet hall. Oh, this is quite decorated here. The banquet hall. We've got some carnivore taxidermies. The kitchen is stacked. The kitchen is very decked out. More heads taken as trophies. Velos to guard the perimeter. And as the sun rises, we'll check out the King's Throne. And it's even painted with the blood of his enemies, looking awfully sinister. Oh, he's got dwarven guards that are statues. Maybe they're not statues. Maybe they're going to come to life if someone touches them like Legend of Zelda. Please be sure to comment your favorite and vote for the grand prize of $250. Let me know in the comments below, guys. I hope you really liked our first instance of Battle of the Builds. We had 7 total tribes to go over. So choose wisely. You will pick the winners. They'll earn the title, Best Builder in the Ark, or on the Ark, or around the Ark, as well as $250. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. Smash the thumbs up button if you did, like I mentioned earlier in the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Nerd Parade channel for some more videos just like this one. Share it with your friends and family, and those of you that may enjoy building here on the Nerd Parade servers for your chance at the prize. Most importantly of all, guys, take care of yourselves out there. Stay awesome, and we'll catch you in the next one. Later.